Hi, I'm Lisa with OESD, and I'm so excited that you're joining me today for our sew-along featuring our newest collection, our Freestanding Houseplants 2, or version 2 that we've just come out with, and I'm super excited, and they are featured over here. I've got, and let's see if I can remember this, I have our variegated tetrasperma plant. We have the beautiful caladium, and I love the orange-pink color in those leaves. We have our red maranta out here in front and our trio star right there. I'm so excited to show you how to make these, and I think it's time for us to get started. But first, I do want to say stay tuned because I want to show you some tips and techniques to help you make these plants for yourself. Our very first step that we're going to do, and that I always like to do, is print out the instructions. And for me, it's really important to print out the instructions because even though I think I know what I'm doing, sometimes I miss a step. And so if I have the directions, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I really like OESD's instructions because I get exactly what I'm supposed to do with wonderful color pictures so I can see every single thing. It's going to let us know our isocord thread color chart right here, which colors we're going to need. Then it's going to go through the stabilizers, and I could either use white medium weight tearaway or I could use black, and in this case I've actually chosen black. Then it's calling for felt, which I have the OESD Perfect Felt right here, and I have chosen the green for our leaf that we're going to be doing today. Then it's going to go through any other fabrics or textiles you might need. So this is a list of our different felts that you have an option of doing. Notions and tools. So in this case, I'm going to be using our tearaway tape, OESD's tearaway tape that actually looks like this when it comes in the package. I'm also going to be using Kai scissors, which are available at OESD. I love these because it's going to be able to cut through all those different layers with no problem at all. Super strong, great sharp scissors. I'm also going to be using an 80-12 needle, and the reason for using an 80-12 is because I am going to go through a couple of layers of felt, and so we want to make sure that we have a nice, durable, strong needle. I recommend the titanium needle because you actually get like 25 more hours. Like I think with a normal needle, you want to change that every 5 to 6 hours of embroidery. But if you use a titanium needle, then you're going to get about 25 hours of use out of it. So that's awesome. Let's see. Then we also need our floral wire and tape, which I have over here. And then you could also get a foam block, and those items you can find at your garden center. So having said all of that, we're going to go ahead, and I have threaded the machine with the first color, but the very first thing I have to do even before that is I have to hoop our tearaway into the hoop. And that means I need to clean this up and get my hoop. All right, here is our hoop. And I want to show, as I go to the next page of the instructions, that I have a summary, and I'm going to hold this up like this so that you can really see it. And this summary tells me what designs are on this or in this collection. And I have 3 leaves of each plant style in 3 different sizes. So like a small, medium, and a large. So I happen to know that the design that I pulled up on my machine is going to be the second one in this right here, which is 13005-02. And I think that's our maranta. So now, step 1, I'm going to go ahead and hoop my stabilizer. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take the bottom hoop and set it here. I'm going to take the top ring and set it here. Now, here is my piece of black stabilizer, and I cut it to just the size that I'm going to use, and I'm actually going to bring it over just like this into my hoop and get it right in there nice and snug. And now I'm going to tighten it up and it's ready to go into the machine. I do love the grippy grid because I don't know if you noticed, but when I pressed down on it, the hoop didn't slide around. And that's really great because if you've ever hooped on just the table without a grippy grid and your hoop is slid out from under you, the grippy grid prevents that from happening. I do love the grippy grid. All right, now I'm going to take this over to the machine. And it's going to go ahead and stitch placement stitch so we know where to put the felt. So as you can see right here, we've stitched out our first line, which is our placement line for the felt. So I'm going to grab one of my felt pieces that I've pre-cut ahead of time. I haven't pre-cut it to the shape of the leaf, I've just cut it down so it would fit in the hoop. And I'm going to take two pieces of tearaway. Here's one, and here is the other. Sometimes, depending on the piece, I might do all four corners, but this is kind of a big piece and I'm not really worried about it flying away, so I just did it top and bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it right back into the machine. And I'm going to stitch the first part of color that's going onto the leaf. In this case, it's this beautiful outer edge. All right, so that is the first color down. And now I'm just going to repeat the next color. And actually, let me show you where I'm at on our instructions because that would be helpful. So we've done our placement line and we have attached our green felt, and now we're really going to go through and we are going to stitch the next two colors in there. So in this case it's 6151, so I'm going to change my thread. Okay, we have one more decorative element on the leaf to stitch out before we get to more of the structural part and putting the back onto our leaf. So one more thread for the decorative part and then we'll go to changing our bobbin. All right, now I'm going to take my hoop and I'm actually going to put it right here. The next thing that we're going to be doing, according to my instructions, is that we are going to be putting the back of the leaf on. And the reason why, I have an example, the reason why we want to put a back on is in my mess here. Here is a leaf that I did, but I purposely didn't put on a back. So if I didn't have the back on, here's another leaf that I have, we want a back because then it's nice and pretty. We want to hide all of the ugly stitches on the underside. So that is why we're going to put on a back to our leaf. So I'm going to take this over. And here's the underside of my hoop, and very gently I'm going to take my green, take my tape, and put the back on. Now, the other thing is I have obviously white bobbin thread in there, and I don't want the white on the green, so I'm going to actually stop right now and put on, or put in, my bobbin that I have right over here with green thread. And all of this is in your instructions, so you don't have to guess when to do this. Put that in, thread my machine with the appropriate color. All right, so that part right there that we just stitched, those two lines, that's actually like a cut line, the outer line, and the inner line is this beautiful triple stitch, and that is the edge of the leaf. And then that second line that went around that is going to be our cut line for when we get to that part. We're going to do the last stitch step, which is to create the channel, and I have a leaf over here that doesn't have a channel. And the reason why you want that is when we go put the wire into the leaf, if I didn't have that wire in there, it could either go here or it could go somewhere else, slide around. And when you go to shape your leaf, you wouldn't be able to get it to form the way that you want it to. So we want to create that channel so that you are able to form the leaf. All right, here is our completed leaf, including that triple stitch that's doing that leaf, the edge of the leaf. We have this second line all around the leaf, and that's our cut line. And then if I flip it over, you'll see that we also have the channel for the wire to go through. Now I'm going to go ahead, loosen this up, and take it out of the hoop. Set my hoop aside. Now I'm going to take my Kai scissors right here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out my leaf. And I'm cutting just actually inside that cut line, because if I cut right on the cut line, I get some little thread wispies. That's kind of a pain to clean up. I'm just going to try and do that. Some of you will notice I don't have my readers on, so I'm doing the best that I can, slightly blind. All right, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread snips, or actually these are applique scissors, but I'm going to use these really quick and just go ahead, and if your machine didn't cut your jump stitches, you just want to, there's like 2, 3 little jump stitches I'm going to trim up. Okay, now, here we have a leaf, and now we're going to put a stem in it. And I wanted to show a couple of variations and bring over a couple of tools to help me. You'll notice, too, that we have houseplants 1 and 2. Stay tuned, because I'm going to give you some inspiration for how to play with them. But right now, I have this leaf. You're going to find that the hardest part of doing this whole leaf is what we're going to do right now, and that is getting a wire in. If I were to take this thin wire, sometimes it feels like it doesn't want to go. It's a little hard to kind of get it in there. So I actually found that if I use the Perfect Press tool, I can go ahead and put that in and get it started. I'm not going to put this whole thing in there, but that's going to give that whole a little bit of a jump start, so that then when I go to put my wire, whatever gauge I choose, I can put that wire in there, and it's a little easier to do it. And I'm even going to take this thicker one and feed that right in there and massage it in. And now I can manipulate the leaf and change it around to any shape that I want. Now that you've seen how to make a leaf and how easy it is to do the houseplants, I'm going to show you a couple of ideas. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a headband that I've been wearing this entire time. We want you to play around and see what else you can do. I really enjoyed making all of these leaves. In fact, playing with this hat was super fun. If you want to recreate this hat because suddenly you decided on a Halloween costume for later this year, it is just a puffy headband that I bought. Then I wrapped it in green garden tape, just like this here, and used the wires and punctured holes into that headband, and then I glued the moss on top of it. So in my hat, I have Freestanding Houseplants 1 and 2 in my hat represented. I've also played around and done it with the vinyl. So that's really fun. And I think I have a vinyl, Luxe Sparkle Vinyl Trio Star leaf over there. I also did it in fabric. Like I have one of the leaves here that I did in a green fabric. You can mix and match your felt. So many different things that you can make. Why stop there? So here's a leaf that I really like from Houseplants 1. And what I did, move those here, is I thought, well, why not do it as an applique? And I just used that outer line when we cut our leaf out. I just used that to trim up my applique. And I made these, which kind of actually look like 3 trees as opposed to 3 leaves. So that's really fun. And I thought, well, if I could do that, what if I also did it as an applique. And this, by the way, is on our OESD Start Here blank pillows, which I really like. So much fun. It actually comes flat fold, and then you sew up the 3 sides, which I did here. So easy. You can do so many different things. I think I have a pillow back there that I also did. And then of course I did my headband. But you're wondering, if you do it, if you do decide to do something with the Luxe Sparkle Vinyl, or you decide to do fabric, here are some tips for you. I thought what I would do to kind of show something is I did different things. This is where you get to be the chef of your own creation. So on this one, I used Stable Stick in between the leaves. I used 505 spray is right here, and I used fusible woven. I want you to see on this one, and I don't know if you can see it with the camera, it's going to be a little hard, but this is fabric only with nothing in between. I just put, oh no, I do have stabilizer. So I just have stabilizer, just fabric, nothing else. And you can probably see it's a little wrinkly. It's not quite pulling it all in, but it's getting really close. So I thought, all right, well, if that is with just fabric, here is with fusible woven. And you can see it's really smooth. It doesn't have the wavy gravy of just the fabric. It's really smooth, and it's stitched out beautifully. I also tried it with some temporary adhesive spray, otherwise known as 505 here. And then I also did Stable Stick. The difference between the Stable Stick and the fusible woven is that actually the Stable Stick cutaway that I used, it's a little stiffer. And when I was putting in the wire, I did kind of have to fight with it a little bit more. That was with the Stable Stick cutaway. I did fight with it a tiny bit with the fusible woven, but not as much. And then the 505 spray, I didn't actually have that much of a fight getting the garden wire in. There are options. Sometimes there's more than one right answer. You can do a lot of different things with these leaves. They are a lot of fun to stitch out. I highly recommend playing with the vinyl. I think it just adds so much fun and sparkle, and who doesn't like a little bit of sparkle? I hope that this has inspired you to make the freestanding houseplants too. I hope I've gotten you to be inspired to play with your stabilizers, because that's how we all learn, is through hands-on playing. So thank you for watching all of this. You are wondering, what is my special price today? So for this, the Freestanding Houseplants 2 bundle, you have 2 different options. You're gonna get fusible woven, because I mentioned that with the fabric. You're gonna get the medium weight tearaway, and both of these in black. And believe me, you wanna have black in your arsenal. Having both white and black just makes a world of difference. You're also gonna get all of these threads. Put them all out here. You don't get these threads, you're gonna get brand new spools. Then you're also gonna get 2 times the pink felt, 2 times the yellow felt, and 2 times the green felt. So all of this is actually over $170. It's gonna be your price for $99. You get all of the designs for the Freestanding Houseplants 2, all the thread, the fusible woven, the medium tearaway, all of this felt, all of that for $99. Unless, of course, you're a Spree member and you're sitting there and you're saying to me, Lisa, I already own the design. In that case, if you're a Spree member, your price is $79. So those are the 2 different bundles, Spree and not Spree. So if you're a member of Spree, $79. If you're not a member, $99. And again, it's over $170 worth of products. Whew, that's a lot. I really hope you had a good time today. I hope that I see you on The Perfect Stitch. I get a lot of inspiration from you, just as much as you maybe get from The Perfect Stitch. It's a wonderful place to be. The other thing is, I would love for you to like and subscribe for our YouTube channel, and that way you will get all of the sew-alongs that both Carrie and I are doing, and all of our stitching shorts that we put out all the time to help you feel comfortable making all of these really fun, cute projects. Thank you so much, and happy stitching. it.